Welcome back to another video on my channel, and this video is a warning for all Leica M11 shooters who, like me, always watch out for the newest firmware, do the update, and then hopefully don't end up in the same situation I ended up when I updated my Leica M11 for the newest firmware. Let's first have a look what the newest firmware is, so you know what I'm talking about. Let's be precise here. So let's go to camera information, and you see here the newest firmware is 1.2.1.0. And that's what I uploaded and updated the camera, but when the process was done, I got a huge adrenaline shock because my camera was dead. And as an experienced Leica shooter, I thought instruction manuals are for dummies, definitely not for me, so I followed the usual procedure. And the usual procedure is I have the hand grip mounted here, getting out the battery first. Let me just do this here. Getting out then the SD card, storing the firmware update on the SD card, reinserting it into the camera, reinserting the battery, switching on the camera, and then going into the menu. Same menu where I just was before. So let's quickly go there. Page number 4, then you go to camera information, and then you have firmware, and here it's currently grayed out because the SD card has now a firmware file on it, and then update the camera. That's what I did. The update process worked well. But when I switched off and again on my camera, the camera was dead. The only thing I saw were the tiny little red LED digits in the optical viewfinder, but nothing worked. So I thought maybe I have accidentally set up extended electronic viewfinder. So I looked into the EVF, all dead. I removed the EVF, all dead. I removed the battery, reinserted the battery, still all dead. I became quite desperate. So I went to auto ISO. I used the shutter speed of 1 divided by 1000 seconds and tried to release the shutter button. Nothing happened. All dead. The camera was basically like bricked, broken down, no longer usable. So I really started to panic, and when the moment of panic was over, I started to think, and that's typically very helpful. So what I did is I removed the battery again, I removed the SD card, I reinserted the battery but left the SD card slot empty, and I also powered up the camera via USB-C. I thought just in case, the battery was freshly charged when I did the firmware update, but I thought just in case. And like in a miracle, all of a sudden the camera woke up. Now what happened here is I should have actually read the instruction manual for firmware updates on the Leica M11 on the very last page, where a red printed warning is telling you that if you restart the camera after a firmware update, you need to remove the SD card, you need to format it in a separate gadget, let's say a computer, laptop, what have you, MacBook, and then reinsert the SD card, and then the camera will power up in the normal way. And if you think about my fix, which did the trick, removing the SD card, leaving the SD card slot empty, and then the camera powered up again, that's in line with that warning Leica provides on the very last page on a very tiny little paragraph in the instruction manual. So take it as a warning. First of all, on the Leica M11, if you have seen this video, follow the procedure, do the normal update process, but before you restart the camera, remove the SD card and format it in some other computer, not here, because you will not get into the menu. And second, and that's my takeaway, even as an experienced Leica shooter, from time to time, going through a manual or instruction booklet is not the worst thing to do in the world. If you liked that video, don't forget to drop me a thumbs up. Stay tuned on my channel. There's always something new coming up. Stay safe and healthy, and of course, peace out.